Are men, even masculine ones, on the verge of becoming Mansome? Well, that is the touchy subject of a new documentary. Let's take a listen.
Society has been very rigid about the role of men. Those rules have been lifted.
I think you try to look good to meet a woman, or you try to look good so the woman doesn't run away.
All right, we're going right now to Darrell Hartman. He's out in San Francisco. He's been exploring this concept of men and beauty products. And Darrell, I'm holding facial fuel here. This is made by Kiehl's. Does it have to have this high-octane name for guys to be into it?
I think at this point, Wendy, you still do need some of that. Men are definitely embracing grooming and things like moisturizing, but we're not quite ready yet to smell like peaches and lavender. So I think it's smart on the part of Kiehl's or on the part of a brand like Axe, which has had incredible success with its body spray. This is a product that, you know, is convincing men that they need to smell good, but it's also got sort of a macho name to it. So I do think that's an important part of the marketing.
And Darrell, tell us about this new documentary. It's very tongue-in-cheek, Mansome. What's the premise here, and who's behind the film?
Well, it's a documentary made by Morgan Spurlock, who's best known for Super Size Me, which sort of took the fast food industry to task. This isn't quite as serious. It's not really going to change the industry the way Super Size Me did, but it's really interesting and it's really entertaining, and there's a lot of comedy obviously inherent in the subject of men you know, clipping their nose hairs and shaving their back hair and getting toupees. There are a lot of sort of celebrity talking heads who sort of crack jokes, but there's also a serious engagement with this topic, and it's really a major cultural shift that's gone on in recent years. So there's obviously a lot to talk about, and there's some academics in the film that offer some interesting.
Some big celebrities in this, including the very funny Zach Galifianakis. He can do anything and make me laugh. I just don't really think about him in grooming products, but let's take a listen.
Okay.
On a scale to 1 to 10, how do I think I look?
To certain people, I probably am a 1. And then to other people, I'm a strong 2.
What do you think works best with my face? Because this has been not doing well for me.
A hood.
They've already reeled me in, Darrell. All right, so the whole facial hair, the body hair issue in general, this is just a big thing in the male grooming sector. Walk us through that.
Well, it's true. It's funny that when we talk about grooming, we're basically talking about hair. And the thing with hair nowadays is it's generally considered a problem, except on top, where you want as much hair as you can get. So one of the interesting profile subjects in the film is this pro wrestler, and he's a very hairy guy. And so we follow him sort of on this daily battle he wages against his body hair. You know, he's a wrestler, so he's got to be sort of hair-free. But I think there is a sort of standard in society where men generally don't want body hair, and that can mean a lot of time and effort spent shaving it off.
And Darrell, there are a lot of competitive beard growers out there now.
Well, this is the other thing that's going on. It's sort of almost a protest movement. I think when there's sort of an alternative culture of growing out as much facial hair as you can. So because there is a standard for clean cutness, and there is a character in the film, Jack Passion, who's a very proud owner, a young man, very proud owner of an enormous red beard, sort of russet brown beard. And he travels the world competing in competitions. This is basically his life, it seems like. So there is this sort of subculture around facial hair these days.
And Darrell, for those guys who date women, I mean, are women driving this trend toward more male grooming?
Well, you know, to me, that's maybe the most interesting question in this whole thing. Who is responsible? And you get differing viewpoints. I interviewed Jason Bateman, who is that actor from Arrested Development. He had a role producing the film. He thought that there's no way that wives and girlfriends would encourage anything that led to their boyfriends and husbands spending more time in the bathroom. Why would they do that? Right. On the other hand, Morgan Spurlock thought that, you know, basically this is all about men trying to attract women in this sort of primitive way. We'll do whatever it takes to get women to like us. And in that regard, women are sort of calling the shots in terms of we want a lot of hair on our man's head, but we want him to be pretty clean everywhere else.